Subaru!
Subaru!
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of What You Take, the show where we talk about just about anything we can possibly think of and bring you guys along for the unfiltered and unapologetic ride. Why can't I say that word these last few episodes?
It's multisyllabic.
I'm fucking struggling anyway. As always, you're going to have myself here, Steve, my brother Chris,
That's me.
and the one, the only, Sexy Spence.
I'm here for a good time.
Are you?
No.
No.
You're here.
Ew. Oh, holy fuck.
Shots fired!
I don't feel. Can I go?
I'm not holding you here
I
hostage.
don't feel safe.
The
don't feel
show,
safe.
the show will continue on with or without you.
That's fair.
It's just me and Steven talking now.
We'll
We'll put like a little cutout with like a balloon right there with like a plaid shirt.
I'd
Today's
actually,
newspaper.
I'd kind of like it. I want to talk about Batman today, guys.
Batman.
Specifically,
Batman.
the Batman.
The Batman.
Because there's a ton of rumors surrounding part 2, part 3, what villains are they bringing in, all that other kind of shit. And like we've talked about before, this the Matt Reeves like universe is one where they need to stay away from the supernatural. And I think they did a really good job kind of cementing that with how they handled Riddler.
Yeah.
So far they're doing a really good job with how they've handled it with the Penguin series with Colin Farrell, which is really actually pretty good from the first couple that I've seen so far. So highly recommend checking that out. But I've been seeing rumors that we're looking at bad guys such as Mr. Freeze and potentially Clayface for the part 2. So, I mean, I guess my first question is, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I'm interested to see how they do Mr. Freeze. I mean, because his whole thing is kind of sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see how they circumnavigate the tone that they've set with Mr. Freeze being Mr. Freeze.
Right.
Like, how is he going to be, like, icicling people? How is he going to be... Unless they do, like, a full 180 flip, and it's like, I don't have a condition, and I don't have a wife who needs this help. I'm just a psycho that carries around pockets full of liquid nitro.
I think he might still have the condition and whatnot, but I don't think we're going to see the gargantuan sci-fi. I think it's going to be like a souped-up... nitro type thing.
I think it's just gonna be like he's gonna have a protective suit on, and I bet you'll just like a reverse flamethrower.
right.
Rather than like flames, it's just liquid nitrogen.
Yep.
Just like a fogger.
Kinda, yeah. That just fucks everything up.
Well, and maybe what they'll do
If
too,
we're sticking with the realm of realism, that is.
Right.
maybe
you know?
instead of them turning into icicles, maybe they'll drop dead, and it'll be like whatever chemical agent he created, like froze their heart, and that's what killed
Or
them.
their body temperature dropped too fast, and they
Yeah.
just...
Yeah, just hypothermia all around. Like
I feel like there's ways to explain it away.
right, and like I said, they did a good job with the Riddler, making it into the realm of realism.
Yep.
Like nothing was
Right.
insane, nothing was over the top. I mean, it was crazy. Don't get me wrong, but like
Listen,
plausible.
I'm just saying, if this motherfucker doesn't kick down the door riding 2 polar bears, I'm gonna be upset.
I want puns. I want nothing but puns.
You want him to walk in like the Ice Queen from Narnia, just on a whatever the fuck it is with just 2 polar bears pulling her along.
Yeah, Mask of the Phantasm style.
Just fucking do. Oh my
I
god,
mean-
Master of the Fantastic.
That was a good movie.
It was. It's just fucking callback. So anyway, so the other rumor that I'm hearing big time on when it comes to the Matt Reeves universe, I'm personally at this point almost spiritually attached to, and I hope that it's real because I just there's rumors that the Court of Owls is in the works, and I don't think that they're going to make an appearance in the second one. I think that they would be like the ending villain in part 3, whenever the hell that eventually happens. But I have some quotes that I'm going to read from Matt Reeves that people are saying kind of help to support that that notion. So the article thing that I have here says Matt Reeves provides story details on the Batman Part 2, hinting to the Court of Owls. Quote, "It's another mystery that's going to dig into the epic story about deeper corruption, and it goes into places that he couldn't even anticipate in the first one. The seeds of where this goes are all in the first movie," end quote. Matt Reeves also says the Batman universe might push, quote, "to the edge of fantastical, but we would never go into full fantastical. What was important to me was to find a way to take these pop icons, these mythic characters that everybody knows, and translate it so that Gotham feels like a place in our own world," End quote. Matt Reeves wants to keep the point of view of the Batman for the Batman's emotional arc in the next movies. Quote, a lot of times what happens is you establish the Batman in the first movie, and then the next movie is the Riddler's movie or the Joker's movie, and the Rogues Gallery takes center stage. I want to find a way to keep the Batman as the center arc of the movies. End quote.
I actually like that take on that.
I think that's the way it should be done.
No, I agree. Like,
Let's hope he can execute, because I agree with every fucking word he said.
well, just like what we were talking about with John Wick. It was one of those where it's like, it won't cross the line, but it's on it's like right there.
Right on that,
You know?
walking that line. Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, with the Court of Owls, that's kind of interesting. I wonder if they're going to go into like secret society. Are they going to be the ones that are behind like the mafia? Are they going to be the ones that like are the reason the city's falling apart and Batman kind of discovers that?
Just remember, all of this wealth, power, and corruption is all aimed towards controlling New Jersey.
Oh God, I hate the fact. I hate when I found that out. By the way, it's
I
fucking
hate
just
you
Jersey.
so much.
It's the jewel of the Northeast.
Little do you realize, back it just smells like pee everywhere. Like,
This is the city you're fighting for.
yeah, like
You know
we
what's
love you,
inter-
New
the
Jersey.
city's a toilet.
You know what's
and I'm here to
interesting?
flush.
Is there was a character that just made an appearance in the first episode of the Penguin that, and mind you, this series is supposedly on Penguin's rise to power after the direct events of the Batman. Penguin's mom is in that, and I think they're not poor, but she's not as glamorous as I think we've seen her portrayed in other projects.
Yeah.
But I would be curious to see if she ends up having some kind of a connection to the Court of Owls at some point.
It's definitely possible. I mean, I don't know the Penguin's whole deal. I've never really, I guess, focused on him because he's always just been a fat little pervert to me that didn't warrant much exploration.
Looking at you, Danny DeVito.
But anyway, I have seen the Cobblepot family portrayed as influential or wealthy as the Waynes, or
Correct.
like closer behind them.
Yep.
So, it being in the same social stratosphere as the Waynes, I could imagine that his family would probably have ties to the Court of Owls. And I mean, that was even the case in
In Arkham, the Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights.
Well, and that's where the theory just kind of bounced off of, because in small spoilers, in that first episode, he gets some jewels and he goes and gives his mom a necklace, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's too much, it's too much." So it doesn't seem like she has power or influence right now. But I'm wondering if either A, that's a front, or if she's going to get involved in that as time potentially goes on.
as Cobblepot keeps spoiling his mother.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm very interested, but this, in my opinion, sets up for exactly what I would want these kind of bad guys. And the hints that are in that is like he mentioned that you have these pop icons. So that to me speaks Clayface, Mr. Freeze, right? No big deal. But when you put the word very deliberate, because at this point, like directors and writers and stuff, they know that their shit gets looked at with a microscope these days, right? So when you put in the words mythic, that screams Court of Owls, right? Their whole thing was it was a bedtime story tale that you would tell boys and girls so that they would go to sleep about the Talons, right? This is exactly what I would expect the setup for something like that to be.
Listen, if I don't get Alfred clearing fucking Wayne Manor with a shotgun, I'm gonna be pissed. That's all I'm saying.
Who is Alfred now?
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. You're telling me that wouldn't be dope?
Alfred is as important as Batman.
Oh, 100%.
If not more.
If not more.
If not more. That was another series that they really did dirty too.
I heard
the Pennyworth series.
Oh, yeah.
That fucking sucked.
Dude.
I heard people. I have heard that people hated on Michael Caine, and I'm like, I fucking loved Michael Caine as Alfred.
I liked him. I think he's a very...
He's the mentor Alfred.
He was the one that probably most closely resembled like the 90s cartoon Alfred.
Yeah.
Right? He's there. He does his job. He's he's the mentor, but that's really about it.
Right.
I wouldn't... Yeah. Andy Serkis I like, though. I think that's an interesting...
Everyone
interesting
sleeps
casting.
on Alfred, and I get so annoyed by that. Because, like, dude, he fucking headbutted Superman, beat the shit out of him. He's taken out Bane. Yeah, remember that scene where they broke out of prison together? Then, like, little Alfred just, like, wrecked Bane's shit? Yeah, dude, he fucking held up Wayne Manor against the Court of Owls, which, God, if they're going to introduce the Court of Owls, you have to have a scene like that.
It would be really cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, throw some awesome quotes out there. There's a lot you can work with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if they're going to do it direct, or is it going to be, like, hinting at the Court of Owls? Then maybe Batman 3 might be like full-blown Court of Owls.
In my opinion, the way it needs to be is part 2, you are going to get hints throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's going to come across a book or an article or something that's going to finally say the Court of Owls. Something that is going to be like, this is next.
Right.
And then the whole third movie is going to be him trying to find them and stopping them.
Yeah. It's going to end like Ninja Assassin, just a whole bunch of Court of
Do
Owls.
you think they're
like,
going to give him the offer? Because another way I could see it going is them seeding it all through one, and then one ending with the offer to convert. Episode 2 is them assailing him for not converting, and 3 is him finding and neutralizing leadership.
Well, we've already had episode 1, though.
Okay.
That was part 1 to The Batman.
Okay.
And so far, everything that I've read and everything that I've heard is that this is slated as a trilogy. We're not going to get Batman 4, 5, 6 with Pattinson.
Okay.
So, number 2, going off of what you just laid out there, could be discovering the court, looking for the court, being given the offer.
And then 3 is the...
3 is denial and bringing down the court.
There's a lot they can work with.
Yeah, there's a lot they can do.
There's a lot.
They just got to do it.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like,
and here's the thing. I don't know how bad I want to piss off the internet. I'm going to piss them off.
It's fun.
I would argue that if they do the Court of Owls on screen properly,
yeah,
which I think so far Matt Reeves has the workload to do it, okay, arguably could be more influential, more popular, more disruptive, and more iconic than the Joker.
Oh, if they do it right.
They do it right. It won't replace things like Mark Hamill's Joker and whatnot, because he has made that character iconic in and of itself. But right now, everyone holds Joker as the perfect bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's Court of Owls.
I never and like, don't get me wrong, the Joker is an interesting character. I don't think that, like, the Joker as a character, not disparaging, like, anybody who's done him, not Jack Nicholson, not Mark Hamill, not anybody, just the character, the Joker, I think has a weirdly high position in Batman's, like, hierarchy, when, like you said, the Court of Owls is vastly interesting. So is the League of Assassins. So is, like, I feel like there are so many other delightful and complex villains that Batman has, and I think everyone seems to latch on to the Psycho Clown. And don't get me wrong, he is interesting in his own ways.
Yeah.
And he has his own dichotomy and obsession and things like that, but, like, there are other...
I don't understand.
Well, there's like 5 main villains, and every movie always focuses on the same 5 villains.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't understand the obsession with Joker.
Yeah.
I guess is my thing.
He's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good, but there are others that, yeah.
like Pig, for example.
Pig's
Sorry.
fucked up.
Pig's fucked up. Put that into a movie, and that's a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm surprised
He's never been. I know.
He would make sense in the Matt Reeves
because
universe.
it's realistic.
Yeah, that's some fucked up.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like normal, but like it's possible.
Spence, you've said this one before too, but Hush would be great in this universe.
Oh my! The fact no one's touched Hush is nuts.
Well, nobody's really explored Bane yet either.
Bane can't be done. Bane hasn't been done right.
Yeah,
is the problem.
Bane needs to be done right. Because his whole thing is good.
The problem is he's a weird one to walk the line fantastical versus real world, because the thing we all know and love with Bane is he gets jacked. And we saw a Bane iteration where he didn't get jacked, which I wasn't horribly mad at, but he didn't use anything.
Yeah,
he was more of a political enemy than anything else.
The problem was that they did both halves of Bane in separate franchises.
Right, you had a muscly moron, and then you had an incredibly intelligent guy who happened to be jacked.
Bane's always
Yeah.
He's not
Combine them.
stupid.
Combine
He's not
them.
stupid.
No.
They always treat him like he's an idiot. He's
No.
a genius.
Yeah,
like
he is actually outthought and
he's
like
a
out.
tactical genius.
Yes,
like
it's just he broids out. Like,
Yeah.
You just mush
Mush
them.
them.
You have them here, just mush them.
take all the great characteristics that we see, and then just make one awesome character.
Just mush them.
Poison Ivy would be another one for this
Yeah.
world.
Dude, Poison Ivy would be dope. But again, like,
That's another thing that's real hard because
you can make her like a poison expert.
Yeah,
That's all you'd have to do.
Yeah.
You make her like a poison expert. Don't make her. Here's the thing with that character, and I think they did this well with Catwoman in the Batman, is don't over-sexualize her.
Yeah.
Right? We saw that. It was done great. Don't get me wrong. No complaints there, guys. But, like, if you're going to revamp her, don't sexualize her. She can be attractive, but she doesn't need to be in a bikini. You know what I mean? Like, just bring it back down into the real world.
This is the first time I don't think I'd ever complain about, like, don't over-sexualize an attractive character, but, like, at the same time, you can make her a scientist who's attractive, and she's just a poison expert. Maybe she comes up with pheromones that she learns can control people or something like that. Like, there's ways to do it where it's, like, yes, highly unrealistic, but not full out, she's summoning plants from the ground to strangle Batman.
That's the part you'd have to get rid of, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you could give her a smaller version of Scarecrow's thing from Batman Begins.
Right.
Like, you could maybe do the poison lips thing. That was a little far-fetched for me. But there's ways to do it if you'll just fucking take the time to do it.
Like the Kiss of Death, for example.
Yeah.
Like, in one of them, remember when, like, Robin pulled off his, like...
If I get a fucking quote that says
Plastic
rubber lips,
lips.
fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Like...
I don't want to hear that shit.
I'm not about it. But yeah, no, you can put twists onto, like, Batman villains and still keep them in the realm of plausible.
Yeah.
Pretty much almost all of them.
Well, and the other thing that needs to happen too is, like, you need to have two different Batmen is really what it is. And I think DC's been struggling with that for a while.
We're finally getting two now.
Well, yes, we are getting two, and it's getting on track. But for a while, they kept, like, bouncing it back and forth.
Yeah.
Right.
There is the Batman that fucks up Darkseid and goes with the Justice League and, like, is connected to the Flash and this and that. That is its own whole different animal than this is the Batman who protects Gotham day in, day night. Like,
separate Justice League Batman from Detective Batman.
Correct. You need to separate those two into their own cinematic, like, categories. Because, like, some people only want this and some people only want this.
Right.
And what the studios have been doing for years is, like, we're going to do 3 movies over here. We're going to do 2 movies over here. We're going to do 1 movie over here. And they change the actors in both of those subsets of Batman so frequently. It's like...
Well, like, we got Ben Affleck for, like, the Justice League, and then we got freaking Pattinson for fucking the detective, gritty...
Yes.
I mean, the Batmobile was just a souped-up muscle car.
Yes.
Thank you.
Which I
Realistic.
love. Yeah.
Dude, fucking...
Well, and now we're going to get another new Batman with Brave and Bold.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of, like, shit moving around. It's just, like, I agree with you, though. They should separate them to keep it...
Yeah, because what I don't want the studio to then do is take this. I know it's marketed as a trilogy, but I don't want them to try and take this Matt Reeves style and put it in Justice League Batman.
Then you got Arnold Schwarzenegger doing nothing
we
but
don't
puns.
want that.
No,
Yeah.
like, this is gonna have spaceships and parademons and all kinds of crazy bullshit.
Right.
We need sci-fi Batman. Over here, I like the dark, the gritty. Made this in my garage.
I want a noir-style Batman.
Yes.
Gritty, dark. He's actually investigating shit.
Correct.
You know? I really enjoyed that, too, where he'd show up to a crime scene and he actually invested. Like,
Yeah.
he was a detective.
Yep.
Which, let's get real, Batman originally is just a detective.
Who he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, get back to that origin.
I think those are all super great points, and I think I'm really, again, I can't say it enough, I'm super interested to see what's going to happen for the Batman Part 2, the Batman Part 3, any other sprinklings of, like, limited series that are going to pop up in between, because, again, so far, Penguin is staying true to that style. But let us know in the comments, guys, what your thoughts are. What do you want to see out of the Batman Part 2? It looks like as of right now, the scheduled release date is going to be October 2nd of 2026. I think this year they actually start filming finally. The script got, like, approved and all that other kind of shit. So I think now they're filming. Hopefully that all stays on schedule. But make sure you give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. Chris, what else?
They need to share the show.
Share the show.
Share the show.
And until next time, guys, peace.
Share the show.
Out.